I'm Sarah the Rebel.
I'm Tamara Brooks.
And this is Women Wrestling Friends, a podcast. It's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
It's where we talk about wrestling with our women friends. And today's woman friend is Kaori.
Hey! I'm so delighted to be here with you guys talking wrestling.
I'm happy to have you. We actually met at an escape room.
I know.
Through a random friend who's basically, he's just the homie. He hits me up, like, go do something, and I'm always like, yes. And if I hit him up, go do something, he always says yes. It's very rare in Los Angeles. You're probably like, yes, that's called friendship. But not here. Not in LA. And we beat that escape.
I know. You guys gotta know we escaped. And not many people escaped that one.
I think it had a 3% or some crazy, rate.
Gamers.
Yes, gamers.
Gamers get the job done, yeah.
Today we are talking about the Mae Young Classic. I hope you enjoy
I'm digging this.
We don't have a budget or patience for sound, so we make our own sounds with our mouths. So the matches have already happened. They've been recorded except for the final match, apparently. However, we are not going to talk about that because you can't watch that yet. Unless you were there in person, you can't watch it. You can only read up on it, which is kind of weird. It will come out on August 28th. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Parade of Champions. And we're going to talk about each of these women and share a little bit of like our feelings and thoughts and then make predictions. And you'll know if we're right or wrong if you've already spoiled yourself and looked up the results, but we won't know. It's exciting. But first, let's chat a little bit with our guests. How you doing, girl?
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I love talking wrestling, so.
I'm sure it came up somehow when we were leaving the escape room, but or maybe it didn't. But I was really surprised to run into you at Meltdown Comics.
I know. I ran into. Oh, I actually patted you, and you're like, "Hey!" And I could look in your face like, "Who is this person?"
I'm like, "This is a real cute chick, but I don't know where I know her." You pretty? Who are you?
Aww.
That's literally my face.
But then she remembered as soon as I said escape room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Context.
I'm a terrible person.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Besides wrestling.
I love Pomeranians. I love video games.
Cute. Okay.
They're really cute. I have a Pomeranian, and she's black, and she looks like a teddy bear. It's amazing.
It's my favorite.
It's unreal.
My favorite are dogs that look like stuffed animals.
Right? It's the best.
Or Muppets. It's vaguely the same difference.
That's my imitation of a Pomeranian.
Yeah. Or like this. But I like just a lot of... I don't like the word geek, but I guess I like a lot of geeky things.
Right, it's like, I feel like geek is sometimes overused in a way.
Too much.
But it also encompasses all the things. Like, it would take a long time to I like comics, and I like anime, and I like television shows that have flying people in it, and sometimes spaceships, and I like books with swords, it's just...
Also, like, you imagine geek means you're smart, and you're not necessarily smart when you're a geek, right?
Oh, that's real. Everybody who likes swords and superheroes is automatically smart. Don't you know that? That's how that works.
So yeah, I like that kind of stuff. And just living my life here in LA and
we're all just living
digging
our lives.
it.
Oh yeah, we were also on the show together. If any of you guys saw
we were doing that too.
The clip, I was the main event.
She did awesome. She was awesome. Like she impressed me.
She just took the wheel on that because everything went wrong, but it's fine. The audience apparently couldn't tell.
And it was great. It wasn't even a real ring, so you know that you can hit take really big bumps.
My knees were all bruised up afterwards because I gave the other girl my knee pads.
Oh.
And then I was like, why did we let them talk us into doing a move 3 times in which we would fling our bodies to the ground? We're stupid. I had originally come like, let's do chicken wings. Like, Bianca Belair, who we're going to talk about, basically in her match against Aaliyah, did the move that I was going to bring to the table, but then I was beat it. It's fine. Anyway, when did you first start watching wrestling, and what got you into wrestling?
Okay, so I first started watching, I was going to say wrestling, but I first started watching wrestling as a kid. And my memories of those matches and the WWF back then are so vague, but I still remember the big names, And then when I hit college, I stopped watching it. And then in 2010, I started dating a guy who's a complete dickhole.
Fuck you, dickhole.
Fuck you, dickhole. And the best thing out of the relationship was that I got back into wrestling because he started showing me like CM Punk promos and just like AJ Lee was there at the time. I'm like, wow,
So
this
cool.
is so cool. And so 2010, I say, is when I re-entered the arena, and it's a completely different space now.
Yeah, it's so funny. Everyone has pretty much the same story.
Right.
Watched when we were a kid. Most of us got to like college, and we're like, this has gotten very strange. And then we all like have our re-entry back into wrestling.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you about the kid stuff, and I get like kind of picked on a lot for this. And people will be like, "You don't remember Bret Hart and blah blah blah." I'm like, dude, I was 5.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I don't remember. I remember the cool guy who would do like cool stuff and wear his pants, and I remember the Undertaker because that leaves an impression in China because she was Xena. But you know, like a lot of stuff is fuzzy, so I'm glad that you said that because now I'm gonna admit it too.
I'm glad you said that. So now I don't feel
Solidarity.
like, you know,
Yes.
left out.
I remember a lot of weird stuff, so I can't.
Well, plus you watched Glow too, so like you were maybe a little more aware of what you were doing.
Oh yeah, you watched the actual Glow.
Yeah. I like, but again, it's I have a weird thing where I remember stuff where I probably shouldn't remember it, like when I was like real young. Like I remember pretty much all of the songs from Gem, but that makes sense because I watched that show a lot. But like, it's just a thing. Like if I see something enough, then my brain just retains it like that.
Gem is my name.
See, and I used to watch Gem all the time, and I don't remember a single episode.
That's the only song I remember. I remember the colors.
Yeah.
You're right.
I remember songs from all 3 bands.
I can sing all of the Fanta songs. Don't you wanna Fanta?
Isn't that one song?
No.
There's 2 more?
Wait, it's like a bunch of them.
Yeah,
You look hot in all that plaster. Drink some Fanta. Faster, faster. Don't you wanna? Spinning, getting dizzy. You need something cold and fizzy. Don't you wanna? You're the hottest crowd in town. We know how to cool you down. Don't you wanna Fanta? Like,
all the verses.
don't you wanna?
All the
Have you ever dressed as a Fanta girl?
That's a great
It
idea.
seems
We gave
like
it a
you
look. You were
should.
like, what a
That's the thing.
wonderful idea.
That's the thing that you should do.
What if
for
that
Halloween.
was my wrestling gimmick? What if I was just like, I
my
was
goodness.
inspired by the Fanta girl?
And then when you beat your opponent, you can you can spray Fanta over them, like it just.
Oh,
does that.
yes.
be like, don't you wanna? All right, guys, this is a terrible
sorry.
idea. Sorry. Who is your favorite wrestler?
Who was or is or...
Whichever. If you want to do like an old school and then a now, that's cool.
Oh, man. I'm going to say currently my favorite wrestler, and if people, like, know me, I really like Cesaro. I like him a lot.
Pepperoni nipples. I love them.
Yeah, the baloney nipples. I mean, his
Pepperoni.
body is banging.
It is, but Enzo Amore called him pepperoni nipples.
I do
once.
love Enzo too.
And now I see pepperoni nipples every
Aw.
time I look at them. They're great. I love them. I love those. I would lick them. Yes.
I thought you
But
said baloney.
Oh, she did say baloney initially.
I said pepperoni. Y'all heard baloney. Y'all play the tape back.
Play the tape back.
We don't have anyone. to play
Instant
the
replay.
tape back.
I demand to recount.
Like yes,
Oh, yes.
that man is perfect in every way.
Yeah, he is strong, and he always has good matches, and I just wish that they would push him further. I know there's this constant talk, oh, well, he's not really good in promoting or on the mic. It's like, well, who cares? Get him.
Get him a manager to talk for him. Or
Right.
honestly, him with Sheamus is great.
Mhm.
And really,
That's actually working for him.
right.
Yeah.
The problem is there's so many good tag teams that the WWE doesn't know what to do, and that's why they threw them under the bus with this whole Matt Hardy thing. And yes, they're the champions right now, but it was still being thrown under the bus because you made them turn heel.
I know.
And it's
It's
ridiculous
kinda sad.
because Cesaro is not a heel. I don't care. He's not.
I think, and then putting the wandering guitarist dude with them to try like really push that heel because like everybody kind of hates that guy is like it's so weird.
It's really
And
weird.
why are they putting that guy with Finn Balor? Okay, sorry. This is a
I mean, that's the thing about WWE is like you watch it and you're like, why is this happening? But I'm still watching.
Yes.
true.
Exactly.
True fact.
I almost wish that Sheamus and Cesaro could just hang out with each other but have singles matches all the time.
Right.
Like if they could just be a stable instead of a tag team. Because the problem is as long as you've got the New Day and as long as you've got, you know, some of their bigger tag teams that they're trying to push, they can't really focus on them the way we want them to.
Yeah. I mean, if they did stable it, they would, if they added like 1 or 2 more guys to that, so like have, you know, maybe
Bring back the League of Nations.
No, don't do that. That was the worst. It was like, let's just put 4 foreigners together.
Yeah.
The foreigners. Everybody will like
They stood
and
for
we're evil.
nothing.
They
That
stood
was
for
the
nothing.
problem.
Yeah, no, it's not great. I'm trying to figure out who else would be really good with them.
With Sheamus and Cesaro, let's think about
I mean,
it.
part of me wants to say Finn Balor again because that
Kind
would
of
be,
Finn, but
Because he doesn't have a club.
No,
He
and they
can
don't
use a
seem to
club.
be doing his Demon King thing anytime
But he's
soon.
not a great
so.
talker either because of
yeah,
his
he's
accent.
really not that good. He's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Like, I don't have a problem. But he hasn't really. I don't know. I'm admittedly a couple weeks behind on Raw, but like.
Did you see the Kurt Angle shit?
Oh yeah, but I saw the
Yes.
Kurt Angle shit.
Guys, I went and rewatched the, what was her name? Charmel? I can't even remember anymore. Booker T's wife.
Yeah, Charmel.
Charmel.
That shit was hot. I know I shouldn't like it as a feminist. I should be upset that the story angle was Kurt Angle stalking Booker T's wife and then, like, trying to lick her. But that really worked for me. That was the wrestling that I enjoyed as a child. Yep, as a child. So, yeah, I'm really happy with this turn of events because Jason Jordan is the hottest thickums
He's pretty hot.
around.
And like you just saying the sentence of Kurt Angle is Jason Jordan's. They were like,
That's a
yes,
trip, though.
it is a trip. But like as soon as you say that, you're like, of course, because he
Yes.
does actually look like Kurt Angle.
He does.
Like he really does.
We
and
all
I,
made that joke, I feel
Yeah.
like. You
I'm
know?
like, oh yeah, Kurt Angle's kid over here. Ha ha
Yeah, look
ha.
at him.
But really though.
But really, though, my black son.
Mhm.
my black son.
And that's how you know he looks good bald.
That was a
Genetics.
turn.
He got them big old thighs. Genetics.
I know, Kurt Angle looks a little like a penis now as an older guy, but going back and watching the videos of younger Kurt
Looks
Angle,
like
he
a
looked
penis.
less like a penis. He's engorged. It grosses me out, okay? What about an old school favorite wrestler?
Old school favorite wrestler, I would have to go with I'm Macho Man.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, Macho Man. I just
Oh, yeah!
and also as a feminist, I should hate him too because
Yes.
the way he treated Elizabeth and Sensational Sherry
Yeah.
wasn't exactly the kindest, but
But you said, I forgot to watch that video.
Oh, you did?
said
Yeah.
with Sherry.
By the time I was watching, Sherry was basically just a valet all the time, and she hooked some dudes, mouths and stuff when they were cheated for them. But like, I never really saw her like wrestling, and so I was looking at some old matches. Like every once in a while, I'll just go back and watch like old matches, and I'm like, man, she was real great. And I understand
had
why they
talent,
put her with
for sure.
Macho Man because she talked like him. Like she cut promos just like him.
she was so good.
It's so good.
And
Her makeup. Yeah.
So I do want to talk about our oh, we shouldn't like this or we shouldn't like that thing, because the funny thing about if you liked wrestling is you kind of dug that stuff already.
Yes, that's true.
And what I think the difference is there should be options,
Mhm.
right? So if every woman is treated shitty,
Yeah.
it's not fun.
Yes.
Right.
If every person of color is treated shitty, it's not fun. If every foreigner is evil, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I think them trying to change for the better was absolutely needed. But I do love to see these moments where they go back to bullshit lines, like Kurt Angle being somebody. This is the kind of '90s bullshit that I loved. Give me and Alicia Fox and her little love triangle. Yes,
You
give
like
me-
that?
I didn't like who they
Okay.
did it with, but I
Yeah.
like that they did it because I think that if there's pieces of there's reasons those worked, right?
Yeah.
Just like a soap opera, you're like, this is garbage, and I love it.
I mean, I like Alicia Fox, but I feel that what they're doing to her makes it look like she is hanging on to the WWE by a hair.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before.
Right.
Like she's
Ugh.
such a good wrestler.
She's
is.
improved tremendously.
She's looked really great in the
She
couple
looks like a
matches
veteran in that ring,
And she's
but she got that
beautiful.
stupid ass fucking wig.
Yep.
And she's
Yeah.
got a weird gimmick that isn't really clear.
It hasn't been really relevant since like 2000.
Right? We don't have divas
7.
anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So either they need to full on make her the diva,
Like,
like she is the diva.
Update the outfit, but
Right.
make it that whole thing.
Whatever
Yeah.
Lana was trying to do, just actually let Alicia do it, be a diva.
That's right.
As her gimmick.
That's right.
Instead of having her as a diva gimmick that's like lowercase.
Yeah.
Right, because she was like the third triplet for the Bella twins for a while.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Nothing's been working for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have her stuck in this thing, and I don't think they know how to.
Well, here's
You know,
the thing, though.
She
Like,
puts on good matches. Those
Yeah.
matches with Sasha,
yeah.
hella enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a fine time to be a female wrestler right now because
It's true.
they're currently, for me, the most entertaining
Yeah.
ones.
They don't have to do bra and panty matches either.
Yeah.
I used to be, as a
Yeah.
kid, I was like, oh, I'm titillated because I like to see naked people. But how come the guys don't ever do bra and
I
panty
know.
matches, but why aren't they ever in evening gowns or whatever
Yeah.
the male evening gowns
Some
are?
of them are in their little Speedo-esque looking
Yeah,
bits.
but they never have a thing where the objective is to strip the other person.
Right, okay.
So that's what bothered me. I remember as a little kid, that bothered me more than anything else. Was that I was just like, it's not fair.
Yeah.
That like if they'd have made it fair, mud wrestling, go ahead, boys, hop in there. Fuck it, Jello wrestling. Come on, men, show a little backbone.
But it is sexier for us to do it, though. Let's be real.
Cesaro covered in Jello.
Okay, hold up.
You know,
That's
you
true.
didn't mind.
I'm thinking about it now. That would look
Go
pretty
ahead. I
good.
can think of a few people I'd put into Jello. All right. Anyway, so because we're talking about Mae Young Classic,
Sure.
who are some of your favorite women wrestlers?
Oh, man. Okay. Well, AJ Lee has always been my favorite since I've seen her. Actually, when she started off as general manager, I thought she was kind of frustrating, and it was kind of annoying that she was making out with everybody. But as soon as she got into the team with Dolph Ziggler and Big E, that was when I'm like, this girl is freaking awesome. And I tend to like root for the underdogs, and she was kind of like the underdog back then. You know, because, I mean, she's gorgeous and hot, but, like, she wasn't the tall, model-looking people like the Bella Twins or whoever was there, Alicia Fox, like we were talking about. So, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah.
Because my cat's meowing in the background. In case you guys can't hear it, he just cried out with his
He's
soul.
like, I'm an underdog.
Me!
I'm not
Did you say dogs?
But I tend to root for that. Like, Saved by the Bell, I would always go for Jessie over Kelly Kapowski, you know? So, she's my favorite of all time, I would say. But currently, I'm really digging Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
They're pretty great. Did you get to meet AJ? I feel like I saw a picture.
So I never stand in lines for like book signings and all that stuff. I'm always like, I don't care how much I like you, I don't have time for it. But for her, I stood 3 hours in front of Meltdown Comics. 3 hours!
Lord, yeah, people told me later, they were like, you missed it, AJ Lee was at Meltdown Comics. But now that you've said that about the line, I'm like, thank goodness I missed it.
You have to like really love the person.
Yeah, right.
It was worth it for me. But
That's so cool, though. Yeah, Charlotte and Alexa are killing it right now on these promos. And you know what? I do have to point out, people like to talk smack about Sasha and being like, oh, she's unsafe in the ring, or she's this, or she's that. Every single person they have paired her with, she has good matches. And we've seen other top women, Bayley, not have good matches when paired with everybody else. So I have to say, I feel more confident about my Sasha love. I wish her promos were a little better, but...
I hate to say that I'm kind of tired of Sasha.
How can you be tired of the boss?
She's... Whether she wins or loses, it's the same lying face. It's like, I won, or I lost. It's like, oh my god. She just stale to me.
I did pick on her for her face when she made Alexa Bliss eat her coochie and bleed. Her face was, oh, are you okay? And I was like, stop it.
I don't know what it is.
You gotta fix your face, man. It's fine. I'm glad that was like in our last podcast we talked about it. So I'm glad we don't sound crazy and everything we say always circles back.
Yeah, here we go.
What were your first thoughts when you heard about the Mae Young Classic?
I thought that was so cool, and I thought it's about time. Like, they should have started doing this a while ago, even before the cruiserweights. Even though the cruiserweight idea is really cool, that they have like a different weight class and all that stuff. I think there's so many really solid female wrestlers, not just in WWE, but in the independent circuit, that it's nice to see them all gather up and battle it out in the biggest wrestling company in the world.
Yep. Sounds pretty great. I can't remember, did we tell them about Mae Young before? Did I tell them some info?
I don't think you did.
Guys,
let's do it.
Mae Young. Okay. First of all, some people were wondering why was this called the Mae Young Classic instead of Fabulous Moolah being the namesake. So first I'd like to tell you a little bit of sad things about Fabulous Moolah. She is potentially the reason why we had the Diva era and why women's wrestling kind of sunk down the way it did. Because women have actually been wrestling since the 40s at least. Women's wrestling has existed, but at a certain point, Fabulous Moolah basically became the block, I guess, in like who got to work and who did what, and she had all these rules for people, and she was taking a lot of their money as well, the women wrestlers. So she actually, it would have been a little disrespectful to have named it after her, because as much as we all enjoyed watching her wrestle as an old granny, she did some pretty messed up things. Mae Young, not innocent of this sort of shit, but way cooler. Let me tell you why. In like the 40s, 30s, 40s, she's in high school and she's like, I want to be a wrestler. I'm getting on the boys wrestling team. In the late 30s, she did that shit.
Nice.
So already we see the beginnings of a crazy bitch. I like it. She starts wrestling around. Her and like Mildred Burke are kind of running the circuits. And then there are rumors that she was a lesbian. And they seem pretty substantial, but they haven't been confirmed by her, so we're not going to assume. But just to give you some context of why this makes me so happy, she would beat up and rob men in various cities around America and leave them knocked out somewhere. She'd take the cars, their money, and she's just a real life lady who would mess you up. You flirt with her, she's gonna punch you in the mouth, and you're gonna have to go to the emergency room.
She's a country song.
She is. She is like a lot of country songs of angry women put
Gretchen
together.
Wilson specifically.
Thank you for that information.
Yeah.
I just wanted you guys to love her as much as I love her.
So the moral of the story is rob dudes.
Yeah, they suck. No offense, dudes. But y'all suck. And we're gonna beat you up and take your shit. Not us, but, you know, somebody. Anyway, so...
I'm gonna hug you and then be like, hey, can you give me some money?
I'm gonna ask you for a bean burrito, and you'll feel like shit for saying no to that, and you'll give it to me. Win.
Yeah. Bean burritos. I mean, come on.
I need to try that. Excuse me, can I have a bean burrito?
Yeah. And we're like, could you give me a bean burrito? No guy is gonna, like, if you're like, can I get a drink? They'll be like, oh, she thinks I'm gonna, like, get this for her because I think she's gonna sleep with me, but I'm smarter than her. It has none of that. It's food. You want to feed me, right? Look how small. I
want to test this out.
Have fun. Yes. Pro tip for any of you women listening.
Keep a journal.
Speaking of women, a lot of these women are from Shimmer. And a lot of the women in NXT right now are women that I first heard of in Shimmer. So that's a name you're going to hear come up a bunch while we're talking. Now, I don't want this to be like a 2-hour-long podcast. I want it to be pretty short, so I'm going to tell you ahead of time that I think you should do your homework. If any of this interests you, look these women up. Look up Shimmer, look up Shine, look up Women of Wrestling. Wow. They're really great and fun, and there's women you've never heard of who've been kicking ass for like a decade, at least. So
some of them better than some of the WWE female wrestlers right now.
Yes, actually, not a lie. When Ember Moon came on, I'm like, I don't even think it's fair for them to put Athena in there with these women.
She's way too good.
And she's had to kind of like tone it down a little bit, which has been interesting. And also, a lot of these women have faced each other before in the indie scene, which I thought was funny. Like, oh wait, like these aren't even new women to each other. They're like, yeah, no, I know.
They're like, what's up? We're here together.
Right.
High five. Dinner time. Bean burritos.
Bean burritos for everyone.
Bean burritos and headlocks.
You're allowed to eat bean burritos, I feel like, because that's protein, right? Beans.
I think they can eat whatever they want.
Most of them don't. It makes me sad. I watch their little meal prep videos, and I'm like, what kind of life is this? But you know, one day I'll be meal prepping.
That's their choice, though. At the end of the day, you're choosing that bean burrito.
What if I made a deconstructed bean burrito and put it into several containers? Would that be meal prep? Sorry, this is off topic. So we're going to dive into the competitors, tell you a little bit about them. If we don't have anything to say about a competitor, it's because we don't really know. They came out of nowhere.
I gotta say, I don't know many of them.
Yeah.
So off the bat,
Doing a little
disclaimer.
research, I was trying to find some clips of some of the people wrestling. Could not find them. It was kind of difficult.
At least one of them is brand new.
Yeah.
Because I know her. We're going to talk to her when we get to her.
But yeah, I mean, like, my judgment for this is based on the parade that we watched and the little information that I researched, and also my memory's not very good, because I don't remember stuff as a kid. But I just love that in literally 15 minutes we got to see 32 badass women and already kind of like their gimmick and their personalities, so I'm excited to talk about it.
It was definitely dope. And then we're also at the end going to give our predictions. We're, like, we haven't even seen it and we haven't looked it up. So you guys will probably already know if we're wrong or not, but just pretend you don't, or laugh at us, or enjoy how close we were, or how right we were. Also, before we get into these women, you should know that I reserve the right to pronounce everyone's name wrong because I'm bad with names of people I know in real life.
It happens.
Let's start off with one of the 4 horsewomen of the MMA. Probably the person I was most excited to hear about, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Feelings.
I appreciated. She's one of those people where in the parade there was something very distinct about their presence.
Yes.
And hers was, oh, no, she can really murder someone. Like, there's something very much like, I can actually fight. This is not just thing about her, which I thought was interesting. But she also did have a little bit of the sort of showmanship kind of thing. So she's immediately, like that. And I appreciated that she also was very toned down makeup wise. Like, she had like a little bit of stuff happening. But I feel like she's one of those people where backstage are like, oh, we'll do things.
She's like, nah.
No.
I really appreciate it when they look more like fighters than models.
Yeah.
And she definitely looked like that. She enters the ring, or she introduced herself in the parade, and definitely stood out. Like, off the bat, you're thinking, she's an MMA fighter. Like, just her build and her presence. I thought, I know this is going to sound so generic, but Brock Lesnar, that's the feeling you get off of her.
That's definitely a great description. I agree. Now that you've said it, I'm like, she is.
Yeah.
She's like the Brock Lesnar lady. That's what I'll call her from now on. So I've actually seen her around at various events and stuff, but almost never actually got to see her wrestle because something would always happen and whatever. It's how it is. And sometimes when a promotion, you get some awesome people and then stuff gets in the way. It's fine. But then I saw that she was on Total Divas helping one of the Bella twins, you know which one, I'm sure.
She was?
With getting back into the ring after her neck injury. And yes, if you've never listened to this podcast before, yes, I can't tell the Bella twins apart. I'm pretty sure it's Nikki.
You still can't?
No, I don't know who they are.
Yeah, it's Nikki.
I can't tell my sisters apart sometimes. So, fun fact about her, she's the only certified female catch wrestler in the United States. She trained under Billy Robinson. Now, the reason this is important to me is part of my wrestling training, we learn about Billy Robinson, and we learn about catch as catch can wrestling. It's a specific style of wrestling. If you guys like Jack Gallagher, you like some catch wrestling. But she's actually certified, and the only woman in the United States. So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And she really does in person. I've seen her in person to look as tough as she looked on the screen. So I'm excited, and I definitely hope that we see some of these women come into like other stuff, just like with the cruiserweights.
Yeah. I just always, every time there's a fighter that has the MMA experience, already off the bat, I think, wow, this one's going to be dangerous. She's going to know how to hurt people. Even like Daria from NXT, like her gimmick is perfect. She's badass, and you want to see her get better. So this one, I think, is going to go pretty far.
Definitely. Next on my list is Marty Bell. I don't know who she is.
Me neither.
I didn't get a chance to check her out.
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Bye, Marty. Next woman we definitely know, Kaori Sane.
Yes.
So I've actually been talking about her for months. Ever since the Lucha Underground episode where I saw her, I think she was like Doku or something was her name. She's part of the Black Lotus Triad. And she gave the most beautiful elbow drop that I'd ever seen in my life. And yes, more beautiful than Macho Man's elbow drop. And it looked like someone threw a dagger into the air and a beautiful flower came back and sliced everyone into pieces. Like, it's poetry. It's visual poetry. Anyway, come to find out, she's a wrestler in Japan and, she does this all the time.
Yeah.
This is her thing. And other wrestlers even say that she has the best elbow drop in the business, period. Male or female, whatever, doesn't matter. So she was one of my predictions who I hoped was going to be in the Classic in the first place. I'm really excited to see that. And also, I think she's going to win the whole thing.
I do too. I do too. I've been watching her since I heard that she was signed on to the WWE back in like winter of 2016 last year. And also her real name is my name, so props. And I started really like looking into her, and she was voted like one of the best female wrestlers of all time already, which is amazing. And she just has a phenomenal presence. And what I love about her, just like Charlotte as well, she hasn't been training that long, but she proves that you can do it when you want to do it, because she initially was an actress, and then she just went by and saw wrestling, like, wait, you can mix acting and sports? I want to do that. And now look at her. She's badass.
She's insanely talented. Like, if you haven't seen her, please go watch some of her. You're going to see her do things and hearing, if you've never heard of her before, hearing that she was an actress, just walked in, and what you see, you're going to have your mind blown. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mercedes Martinez. She's also from Shimmer. She's a strong pick to go really far in this. I think she's defeated most of the women on the list in like other indie events. So she's pretty badass. Mercedes Martinez is another woman I know from Shimmer. I think she's defeated a ton of women already on this list in like independent promotions. Let me just read off a few of her accolades. Current and 3-time WSU champion, 2-time Shimmer champion, and I think she is the current Shimmer champion, WXW Women's Champion, NCW Female Champion, and part of the Shine Tag Team Champion.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Wrestling on my mind. Okay, anyway. Okay, so she's kind of a big deal.
I love these.
Probably are just impromptu.
Yes.
Good.
It's going to keep happening.
So she's definitely a strong pick to potentially win.
Yeah, and my suspicions is that there's going to be some sort of show that might spin out of this, and because there's too many top name women in here, and they're not going to expand the rosters on either show because they barely give them enough time as it is. So I would say at least 12 of these women would probably have an hour-long show, kind of like the cruiserweights do, and I think that would be actually the smartest thing that they could do.
That is true, because it is slightly suspicious.
I mean,
got so many of the top women from different stuff.
Like so many that it would be a waste if they didn't do a show after this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what do you, like, you're just gonna have everybody come here for like a month and then, you know, like peace out. Like what?
Yeah. You definitely want to see more of these. You're introduced to these women and you want to see more than one match.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, another thing to think about is once these women have been on WWE, their name increases as
sure.
And people are going to want to book them more. People are going to want to see them. So the WWE would technically just be helping these women careers with no benefit to themselves.
Which is not a very corporate thing to do.
Right. I mean, so there probably is something.
Going back to Kaori, because I'm obsessed with her already, rumor has it that she got a huge pay cut to work for the WWE. She used to get paid a lot more in Japan.
Of course.
Like,
I'm sure. Yeah.
Right. I know they're not paying them what they should be paying.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, it would be kind of interesting for the WWE to just boost all of these women's careers and then just be like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
And then we'll follow them if that happens.
Right.
You know, if they have that notoriety.
Right.
But yeah, and Mercedes was definitely another one of the ones that women who had. I mean, I liked all of them, but there's a couple of them that to me were just like there's a little extra thing there.
For sure.
There's a ring veteran or ring general.
Yeah.
And there are people who step into the ring and you're like, you're not new. You know what you're doing in there.
Yeah, it's like, you know, even if you have more seconds than you have in the ring, that to do a thing. You know what I mean?
Like a winner.
Yeah, you know how to like take that extra 15 seconds until they wave you out to be something interesting and engaging. Right. Unless you are just, and there are some people who are just preternaturally like gifted like that.
Yeah.
But not as many.
I think a good example of the opposite, we'll just talk about it briefly, Bianca Belair. She's someone who's super strong, looks great in her gear. We saw a great match from her, but she looked really nervous in that ring, and she only had her one thing to do. You know, it's the difference between somebody who has stepped in that ring over and over and somebody who's newer. So yeah, I definitely agree on that. Nicole Savoy. Now, I thought that everybody knew who she was, but I've just realized I think she's actually super indie and local, and that's why I know who she is.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have like a Wikipedia or anything. But she, first of all, I think she's another one with that presence we talked about.
Absolutely.
She just stands there and looks awesome, and you're like, this girl knows what she's about. And the first time I saw her wrestle was I went to an AWS all-women's show. And first of all, it was a great show. It was amazing. There was blood everywhere. It was so fun. And at the very end, they had a giant match between like, I don't know, like 7 women and 7 men. And the men were wearing shirts like no fat chicks and other bullshit to get us to hate them. And then the women were just like utterly demolishing them. And Joey Ryan's wife was in it, Laura James, and she did his, basically her version of his move where she uses her vagina to flip you. And what happened was one of the guys got caught. And so the other guys started lending their strength to him to not get flipped. So then the women all put pussy power together in a line, and they all combined to use their pussy to flip all the men. It was beautiful. Anyway, she was the referee for that match. And she looked good even as a referee. I'm like, dang, I wish my referee pants would fit me that well. So yeah.
Okay, Nicole Savoy.
She seems awesome. Toni Storm. She's a World Wonder Ring Stardom's reigning SWA World Champion right now.
She definitely stood out for me.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of those, like, and she traveled around. They say that she's learning Japanese, that she's a champion in Japan as well, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what World Wonder Ring Stardom.
I think she's going to make it far. That's my prediction. I don't know, what do you guys think of her?
I like her. I like she did make that presence for me.
You know?
Yeah, that there's a thing, capital A, capital T.
Something going
There's
on there.
a thing
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
And definitely like kind of eye of the tiger-y, kind of like there for business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there's some people who are like, this is really cool. I'm very excited to be there. That was really cool and really apparent to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a couple of them who are like, yeah, this is really cool. I'm really here. And then there's another thing behind it.
This is what I do.
Yeah, like it was.
Right.
It was so like she was one of those ones for me that really was like.
I definitely think at least quarterfinals. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mae Young, I think that's how you say her name. I don't know.
Might be Mia.
Might be Mia.
But
She looked like a veteran to me, and then I was like, oh, that's Jade from TNA.
yeah.
She's also been a Ring of Honor and another Shimmer competitor, well known in the indie scene, an ass kicker, really.
Yeah, she's been around for a while.
She was one of my favorite entrances because
Oh.
it was like I was picking her on my fighting game, and that was her like intro like animation, which this whole thing basically was.
Yes.
Like if like it was just you were going through the carousel of
Yes.
characters,
Mhm.
and every time you get to a new one, they do their
Yes.
entrance thing, and I was like, I love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it so.
I did too.
Yes,
Definitely excited to see what she does.
Yeah.
How far she goes.
very graceful seeming. Like I feel
I
like
don't think she'll make it too far. With the other people that I saw on the list.
yeah, it's hard to put on good matches though.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of these women, I think, are
Yeah,
there to
sure.
make the other women look strong, and
Yeah.
we can at least expect a really great match. I do worry about their brackets, you know, like it's one of those
Yeah.
things where if they put the wrong women together, then you put a really great woman, you know, loses immediately, and we don't get to see her in the rest of the tournament, you know, that sort of thing. So, or if you put two mediocre women together and one of them gets to go on, and you're like, if only so and so had gotten to.
And that happens. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of luck as well, I guess.
Yeah.
That's why I like in the fighting game we have the losers bracket, and
Mhm.
basically when you have two chances, and if you lose, you go to losers bracket, and if you lose again, you're out. But you can win, and so someone who loses like the first round could eventually make it all the way back to fight in the grand final.
So you can redeem yourself.
Mhm. And it's just kind of more fair because,
Right.
like you said, if you put two amazing people, well, now you don't get to see these two amazing people in like the finals or something because they faced each other too early.
Mhm.
Anyway, tangent. I kind of wish that other brackets worked the same way. Candice LeRae. I could talk a lot about her because she's probably the person I know the most about on this list. She's Joey Ryan's tag partner. They're like World's Cutest Tag Team, I think is their name. I think she's the current PWG World Tag Team Champion at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
She's wrestled like TJP and Human Tornado, who is a friend of mine. I've mentioned him before. She's wrestled like Kevin Owens, Rich Swann.
That's badass.
Yeah,
Those
like-
are some great names to be with.
Yeah, it's kind of more of a surprise that she isn't already in the WWE.
Yeah,
more
sounds
than
like
anything
it.
Else.
I will be real shocked if she, even if she doesn't win, I will be shocked if she doesn't end up on one of the big rosters.
Right. She's
Mhm.
been on NXT a few times. Is like that thing they sometimes do where they just have women come on.
Right.
It's like, are you a guest? What is happening? And she's married to Johnny Gargano from NXT. So there's a lot of signs pointing
She has a
to
lot of ties
right,
going on.
that this might be her chance. I love watching her wrestle. I think she's super fun. I love her outfits too.
Yeah.
Again, just you know me, I'm always gonna talk about the outfits. I'm
Yeah.
a girl, okay?
Well, hell
And
yeah.
hers are like Lisa Frank-esque on like the edges. I like it a lot.
I mean,
It's-
these girls all wear these kind of outfits for a good reason, for
Yeah.
us to like them.
It's true. Every time Charlotte comes out, I'm like, what mermaid are you today?
Right?
Mhm.
For sure.
Glorious peacocking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Candice was one of the ones who's a very like apparent enthusiasm really like hit for me. I was like, she's so excited.
Yeah,
She's like,
she
"Oh,
really
wow."
had that look in her face of, I'm here now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was like, you
Mhm.
are. Sage Beckett.
Mhm.
She was from TNA's Rosie Lotta Love.
Mhm.
She got injured.
Mm.
She lost a lot of that love and came back. So she's
Wow.
Andrea in Shine.
Uh-huh.
And that's all I know about her.
I just see the note that she lost 130 pounds.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so she apparently got injured, and then she was like, "No, I'm not giving up. I'm not quitting." And she found a way to come back from that.
I love those stories when someone says, don't you ever tell me what I can or cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
Even like, don't tell yourself what you can or cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
Because look where she is. I'm rooting for you.
Everything is possible.
We're rooting for you, Sage.
Everything is possible.
We had a guest on here. It's a lost episode. Zeta. We were hoping to have her back. By the way, it was an amazing episode. Still really hurt, you guys. We'll make it happen one day.
Aww.
She was scheduled to come back, and then she broke her collarbone in a match that I witnessed. I watched it happen.
Oh,
I was like, oh
dear.
no, that's not going right. And it was not right. But they were all like, well, she might not come back from this. We'll see. Like, this is what other wrestlers were saying. Well, like, when you get your first big injury, it's a big deal. And she came back already.
Yeah.
She probably shouldn't already be back, but she's already doing stuff that's letting me know, like, oh, she's not.
Mm-hmm.
She's not leaving. So can't wait for you guys to get to talk to her because she had so much great information
Yeah,
to
it's
share.
really good.
Mm.
Pour 40 out for that episode.
It was so good.
Aw.
See you at the crossroads.
Maybe one day when you're 60, you'll find it. Like,
No,
just hanging out.
It's possible that in some cyberpunk future,
Reboot happens and
that
they
you'll be able
pull it
to
out.
pull the just essence of that.
That
somewhere.
would be crazy if that ever happened.
Just
Look at these fucking nerds.
like a digital Harry Potter spell. With the
Oh my
thing.
gosh, it'd be
Like,
amazing.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're all rooting for that future. I don't speak Spanish. Princesa Sugehi?
They were like
Suhei?
Suhei or
Suhei?
something.
Suhei?
Suhei.
A living legend whose
Yes.
name I don't know.
I
how to
mean,
say.
definitely had a major presence. As soon as she went in the ring, the luchador thing just
Yeah.
like the
The mask.
everyone in that audience was like totally clapping. You could hear it. She's gonna be a force to be reckoned with for sure.
So for anyone who hasn't heard of her, she's basically been wrestling in Mexico for a very long time. Luchadora. She's 37 years old, and when she first started wrestling, a brand new wrestling school opened. She went and signed up immediately. She was the only woman there, 5 feet tall, and was wrestling all the guys. And
I love it.
her butterfly theme came from one of her trainers. Was like, "You're gonna fly like a monarch butterfly." And she was like, "Yeah, the fuck I am," and became a butterfly.
So not the Divas Belt butterfly, right?
No,
Okay,
like a real,
'cause,
like
oh my God.
like a butterfly is going like fuck up that flower. She, I believe, is the current Mexican national women's champion for CMLL, which is where she wrestles, and she's wrestled a ton of really awesome women. And you should go look her up and watch some of her matches.
Yeah, I want to look her up and see some of her matches.
So we mentioned her a couple times. Now it's finally time to talk about her, Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. So, the first time I saw her was sometime last year. There was a video from the Performance Center where they were talking about their combine that they do, and so they're like, oh, there's one, there's Bianca Belair. She's basically out lifting and outrunning some dudes. She did a 4-second sprint or something like that. She used to do track and field college, and I just was watching this video and I was like, yes to this girl.
She was in the video, I think, squatting 400 pounds.
Yeah, she's doing 400
with a smile, just beautiful
Yeah.
fucking
Oh my
smile on her
goodness.
face as she did it.
Yeah, and there was a thing where comparatively there was a separate video where it's 3 different people lifting, and so Ember Moon was doing it, and she was really hype energy, and Bianca got up there and just was real stone cold about it, and I just was like, oh, well shit, you know what I mean? When somebody can do something really impressive with no emotion, then there's something
They're
there.
legit.
Yeah, there's something about that. And then someone was like, woo, and then she just broke out in a smile when she did her third 400-pound deadlift, what the hell? And so I was like, yes, bring her to me. And so
And then we didn't see her again.
Nope,
so
didn't see her anywhere.
We kind of panicked a little,
yeah.
thinking, oh, because sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
In the developmental stuff, you'll see somebody and then
They just kind of disappear and walk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that did not happen.
Yes.
You can actually catch I think it's the full match.
Yes, her and Aaliyah, the full match is on at least YouTube.
Yeah.
On NXT, it was a qualifying match. I think it's also on the WWE Network, probably, if it's a qualifying match.
And she's just lifting, there's a thing where she, lifted her, did a move, lifted her again, did a move.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just
She just kept picking her back up.
Yeah.
And she squatted her at one point.
I guess she was squatting behind her, had her in a
So you're saying that she makes everything look easy.
Yeah.
She's really strong.
And she used her giant frickin' braid as a weapon. She's like a She-Ra character come to life, and she's my favorite. Maybe.
I used to hit people with my braid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she, I've actually been squatted before like that. If you've ever seen the flyer that Santino Bros posts where they're inviting people to come to the tryout, the person in a torture rack is me. Shock and awe.
Really?
Well, when he put me in that torture rack, Dom is a guy who's just very strong. So he decided, I'm going to just do a couple squats while I got you here. And that scream on my face was real because I was terrified that he was going to drop me. But he did not. I was very secure.
Yeah, that sounds scary, actually.
Yeah. So she basically did the same thing. She didn't have her in a torture rack. She had her in a different hole. But she did the same thing right there in the middle of the match. So she could be like, not to compare to another black woman just because, but Naomi is probably the most athletic person on the roster. So to me, it only makes sense to compare her to Naomi.
Yeah, and her, if you're confused by the EST, the IST,
Can you explain this?
I can. All right, so basically she's saying she's the IST, meaning she is the best. She's the all-around greatest. She's the strongest. She's the fastest. She's the toughest, and it's a mark of personal excellence. And I saw another video where she's basically talking about some other stuff, and there, again, a lot of the training center folks were just waxing poetic about her, deservedly. And so they asked her who she'd most want to face, and she said Charlotte. And so she's like, oh, Charlotte's genetically superior, and I say that I'm a genetic beast. And so basically, I was like, yes, do this. I want to see this. Do this.
Sounds like because we wanted to see Naomi and Charlotte.
Yes,
and they didn't let us have it.
They did
because
not.
Charlotte got too popular. And they were like, let's make her a face. We know what you're up to. Anyway, I love talking to my camera as if WWE watches this podcast.
Because we were talking with them too, so it's fine.
That's who we're having this conversation with. But, I mean, I'm glad you explained that because I was like, there's no date after the EST.
Yeah, of
so
course.
what is she trying to say?
Eastern Standard Time?
Like, or like, you could say like I think EST also means like when something was created.
Yes.
Like EST,
Established,
1980. So that's what I was thinking. And then I was like, but there's no date.
Yeah.
So best. Got it.
Best.
Est.
I like how I'm like revelation after revelation.
Yes.
Imagine the Keanu Reeves face. That's us right now. Mind blown. Tessa Blanchard. If you don't know her name, I don't know where you've been. She's kind of been in the news.
She's like everywhere.
Yeah.
Like if you watch a little bit of wrestling, you have heard of. Like she's been on Raw. Like not necessarily like in a match, but she also stood in as a body double for Paige.
Yes.
I was there when they were filming. That was pretty awesome.
Yes. For the movie they're doing about Paige. Boy, I bet they're feeling a lot of thoughts about that now. Anyway, we won't dive into that.
I mean, I keep seeing Tessa everywhere. When I went to the Lucha Underground show, she was there.
Yep.
So you just recognize her, even if you don't know the name.
Now, what's really interesting is she's the daughter of one of the original four horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if she got on there and then it was her and Charlotte and her and Natalya and then, like, I guess one other person, we'll see who it could be, but just, like, a real four horsewomen, like, generational
That's true.
four horsewomen, that would be freaking awesome.
The only problem I have with her is she's improved a lot, but she's not that good compared to the rest of the roster down here. I don't want to
true.
say
Yeah,
that.
no, we're going to say it about at least one other person. I mean, and that's the thing about wrestling is some people, guy wrestlers, women wrestlers, doesn't matter. There are some people who just put in the work.
Yeah.
They show up and they're available and they talk and they're rewarded for that in wrestling. And they might not necessarily be phenomenal in the ring. And, Eva Marie was that. Regardless of how I felt about her wrestling, because
I know, and she's back too. That's a whole other topic, though.
But she made the crowd feel something.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes it be like that.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to be super skillful as long as you can replace that or compensate that with something else.
Right, Enzo Amore, bless his heart.
Oh, that's a perfect example.
Yeah, he's a great example of that.
Perfect.
And finding a thing that you're good enough at to make it your thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can work around that. It's like, oh, I'm not that strong, so I can't lift people. Then you turn to a submission person. Like it's you can work around it.
Yeah,
definitely
for sure.
And also if you have somebody skilled enough in the ring, so Cesaro is an example of somebody like that. I mean, the fact that he's able to make the Hardy Boys look like they're like kicking some ass.
They're not old.
Like they're not real old.
I love them.
Point.
They're old.
But they are old.
They old.
And, like, technically in a real fight, I hate to bring that up because it's like... But people do that with women all the time. So you know what? I will. In a real fight, Cesaro would, like...
kick his...
destroy both of them probably at once, right? But, like, his skill as a wrestler is he brings out the best in anyone he has a match with.
Mm-hmm.
Serena Deeb, she's from TNA, Ring of Honor, Shimmer. I don't really know that much about her. I know she's, from the indie scene. She's real good.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts?
Nice name. That's it.
It's got a good name.
Solid.
Yeah.
Vanessa Bourne. Now, she actually trained at Nox Pro, which means she trained with Rikishi and Gangrel here in LA.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the schools I was considering originally. Thoughts?
She also had a really good presence, despite only, I think, wrestling for like 2 years at this point.
She's pretty.
She's real pretty.
Yeah.
Well, she was a cheerleader. She has a cheerleader and dance background, and so not only does she have a cheerleader dance background, she did it for 2 professional teams in Arizona. So she's like up here. Like it's not just like whatever, but like the girls who do dance for professional teams are like real good.
Like Carmella and Naomi.
Yeah.
That's where theirs comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she has a really good presence. She's another one that had a really good presence about her, and she didn't look nervous that she was on the stage a little bit more time than I think she thought she was going to be. So I appreciated that. I did watch a little bit of her wrestling, but this is kind of like older matches. I saw a little bit of a thing with her and Bailey, and they actually looked good together. So
Cool.
Yeah,
Excited to see what comes of that.
yes.
Tanara Conti. Couldn't find anything about her.
Wow.
Did anyone?
Again, nice name.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna learn about her. Kavita Devi.
She was cool because she's straight out of India, and I just like that they're bringing people. It's showing that they're bringing people from all over the world, and she has a presence. And I know WWE is trying to work with India and get that going. So
yeah,
that's
they ain't even being
perfect
slick.
pick.
No,
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't have more.
Yeah.
Indian
There's
women.
probably not that many.
Right.
Because she defied a few cultural norms to do what she did.
Yeah.
So she's the first Indian woman in WWE ever. Currently, still. And she trained with Great Khali. So that's pretty cool. She's a power lifter. That's what her background is.
And she looks like she's gorgeous too, but she looks powerful.
Yeah, she actually.
She lifted that big old arm.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, girl.
Again, another one of those, like, this is a She-Ra or a comic character that is in real life in the thing. She won, for the powerlifter, she won the 2016 South Asian Games for that. And then she also, I made some notes, she also was trained in Wushu and MMA.
So she can seriously
the presence.
like that.
And
so now I really want to see her in Shayna.
And she's also an ex-armed border forces sub-inspector, which is basically like border patrol in India. And so some of their training, so they are trained in various techniques of armed welfare and are given specialized training in guerrilla warfare, counterinsurgency measures, intelligence operations, demolition, and survival in extreme weather.
So she's a certified badass,
Yeah.
is what I'm hearing.
Yes, there's a stamp on that. Maybe even 3. Yeah.
Definitely got me looking.
Yeah, and it's
sure.
great because I just like, it was one. She was another one of those ones that were standing there, and I just was like, "There's an extra thing here." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so now that I find this out, I'm like, "Oh, good, yes."
It's really cool too to see like a lot of women wrestlers are kind of small,
Yes.
and so it is cool to see the taller ones too.
Yeah, taller, really buff kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. Like the first couple women that were coming out, they all just looked like models. I'm like, it's great and all, but I want to see like
China. I
variety
wanna
of
see
bodies.
China.
Yes, variety of bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we'll get to her. Piper Niven.
Yeah.
Also was another one of the ones where I'm like, yeah, it's good.
The crowd got hyped for her. They
Yeah,
were
they
like,
did.
"Oh shit, is this another Nia Jax right over here?"
She's well, we'll get to her in a second.
Yeah, we'll talk about
But
it.
yes, so and Kavita's 5'9". I looked it up, so she's definitely on the tall side. Nia Jax apparently is 6 feet tall, so so far nobody is as tall as she is. But this is another one to kind of add to that upper height of what we don't really get. So I think she'll go real far. If for no other reason than she has a great look to her, and I think that will translate well.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully anyway.
Keep our fingers crossed. Lacey Evans. So I saw her in a video as well from the WWE where they were talking about training, and she was being like a total bitch to everyone.
Oh,
like,
no.
oh, this person thought they could go get water without permission. Yeah, did we say what? Like that kind of like strong. And they were like, oh, she's a Marine, and so that made sense too. She's like she's a real hard ass, and so I'm in. But she had like a cute kind of sailor thing going on.
Was she a Marine or was she in the Navy?
I
Special Forces.
believe it was Marine.
Okay. I
Like there was some Navy pants.
Yeah,
I
but
think
she was a Marine.
Marine.
Yeah, that confused me a little bit. That's why I was not entirely sure. But I like the look.
I think she's also a mom. So I'm interested to see what she brings from her real personality to that character, like, or if she's just a face and it's just a gimmick, whatever, cool either way.
I wasn't feeling that. I'm never really into those kind of gimmicks, I guess I would say. Just, they always feel kind of dry and stale and, oh, let's make this person the kid's favorite, or, you know.
Right, that's
I'm
true.
thinking Cena.
The next John Cena, Lacey Evans. You know, it's not that far-fetched.
You never know.
It's not. Rachel Evers was Rachel Ellering. She's a second-generation wrestler. And just another indie woman who's been kicking ass for years. And that's all I know about her.
That's all right. That's all right. You know more than me.
It's true. I do.
Yes.
I
right
win
now,
the knowledge
what are those
tournament.
names?
Jazzy Galbert, better known as Alpha Female. She's a German wrestler. She's been on TNA.
She looks.
She looks like Alpha.
At first I was like, Brienne of Tarth?
Yeah.
What?
Overwatch? What?
That's what I thought. I was like, that's, what's her name says, yeah, I'm just going to forget her name right now because that's how cool I am. I don't play Overwatch, to be fair. Although I did try to main her because she's, like, hits hard and has a shield, and I was like, that sounds like me, but she's difficult. Anyway, long story short, yeah, she looks just like her.
She looks like a beast, and it was funny because in the commentary when Lita was talking, and she says, I don't want to, like, give away her gimmick, but she seemed like the nicest person.
Right.
I don't want to blow up her stuff.
A few times, Lita, I bless Lita's heart because I know she didn't mean it this way. She was just like, oh, I love these women.
Yeah.
But, like, a couple times she did it where she was like, look how cute. And I was like, God damn it, Lita, we're badasses. You stop that.
Yeah.
Look at them in their outfits.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I know it was like that den mom thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a I don't take these women seriously, but just a like, oh, babies.
Yeah. I'm so proud of them.
Right. So she was like, she looks super tough, but she's actually a sweetheart. And she actually hinted that she has kind of a tough story, like a sadder background. So we don't know if that'll come out at all. But yeah, so she seems to have won over Lita.
Yeah, seemed like it.
Yeah.
She was gushing.
She was gushing. Santana Garrett. Now, I first saw her in WoW Women of Wrestling show that I went to a few months ago. And I didn't want to like her at first because she was the person I was supposed to like. She had like a headband and she's kind of in jazzercise sort of gear and she's like, yeah, rah, rah, rah kind of stuff. And I'm like, ugh, baby faces. I don't like baby faces. What is this, like another Bailey? But she wanted me to fuck over in the match. I was just like, nope, she's cool. She's so cool. And actually got pulled to the front at the end. So if you watch season 5, apparently, of WoW Women of Wrestling, you might see me. I'm in the front row. And I marked out real hard for her.
Aww.
She was pretty great. So I'm excited to see if she does anything cool. She won the WoW Championship, I think.
Oh.
Sorry if that's a spoiler. For season 5. I'm not sure how their seasons work because they're one of the few places that still are like releasing things that way.
Yeah.
But she was their champion, and she's been in TNA and done the independent circuit, and she looks like a veteran in there.
And knowing her, how far do you think she'll go in this?
Well, here's the weird thing. Remember I don't know, like, I would say normally that she'd go far, but because she's so prominent in WoW, that makes me wonder if she won't go that far.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Now, I don't know, WoW might just let people go and have people come on or blah, 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 but, like, you know, so it would be like if they took the champion of something and they brought them over with it. Because remember, the WWE does that.
They
the
do that.
People who win the Rumbles are people who don't have other championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like sometimes that's kind of my thought process there. So I don't know. I think she would at least be used to enhance someone, so like quarterfinals.
Okay.
That would be my prediction. Next up we have Dakota Kai, who was Evie, a former champion at PWWA, another woman well known on the circuit. Do we have any thoughts on her?
I dug her. I don't have any like big like,
I dug you.
But you know, you were cool.
Yeah. So Abby Lath got a real big pop, and I was like, she looks super familiar.
She did.
Yeah.
She's Kimberly. I'm dumb. Kimberly is very well known on the indie circuit, had some amazing matches with a woman now known as Ruby Riott, who is on NXT right now. She was somebody that people have been rooting to join NXT for a long time because she is a wrestler. She's not someone you look at and say she's a women's wrestler. She is a wrestler. She can get down. She's another person from Shimmer, and weirdly enough has teamed up with Drew Gulak before, which I just thought was a funny thing.
That's an interesting tidbit.
Drew Gulak. Anyway, so she is really awesome. I've seen some matches with her. I can't wait to see. I think she's probably going to go pretty far. At least semifinals. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think so. I think she was another one of the absorb the moment people.
For sure.
And so that makes a lot of sense to be that she would get a little farther, I think.
She definitely had a pop.
She did. Like, there was a big support.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's somebody who the NXT crowd has been hoping would join. Her and Ruby Riott, they were the two women. They've had matches together that were just
So she's the crowd pleaser right
Yes.
now. Yeah.
Sarah Logan is Crazy Mary Dobson, who I've always heard of, but I've actually never seen any matches from. So she's well known on the indie scene.
She's definitely one of the people. I was kind of bothered that everybody had to wear the T-shirt over their gear.
I know, let me see the camera.
Because it kind of undercut their identity for me. Because, they chose this specific gear for a reason.
Right.
So I think that, so she was definitely one of the people where I'm like, this is really cool, and this is very glaring that you're wearing this T-shirt over your gear. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with her gear?
Yeah, there's nothing. I just think they wanted everybody to wear the shirts. I don't know, they
maybe they want it to be some big reveal afterwards or something.
I don't know.
It was weird because you were seeing hints of gear.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is a warrior skirt. This is a sailor bottom. This is some crazy ass show. Are you a pirate?
She has like a demon outfit.
Right, but you couldn't see it.
Nope.
Weird.
Just special occasion.
I did want the shirt though. I was like, that's just words.
It worked. It worked on you.
It did.
Shirt. How dare you sell me things? So I hate to be negative. Renee Michelle is next.
Okay.
I was really, really surprised to see that she was picked for this, and I hope she gets knocked out immediately. It's so bad to say. She's not good.
Oh.
I've seen a match where she literally, her and the other girl, had to just pause.
Oh no.
And stop.
Maybe she's improved a lot since
that was
match.
a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing that happens.
She got some tig old bitties though.
When I watch The Voice and things like that, I have a thing where it's an unfavorable phrase, a name, but I call them cannon fodder. And basically what it is, it's perfectly fine people. It's not that they're not talented at all. Mm-hmm. They're just not as talented as the other people that are going to get through, but they are there so that other people can get their journey, right?
And that was what, at first I was mad to hear, because I'm like, that was a spot that somebody else could have had, blah, blah, blah. God, I hope Renee Michelle never hears me say this because I feel terrible. But then I thought of what you just said. Mm-hmm. There's got to be losers. Yeah. There's got to be people who get destroyed.
Yeah. And there's people and sometimes it's just, you have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
This is a taste of, this is limelight, this is pressure, this is this.
Potential is more than
Yeah.
She's really pretty.
Yeah.
Really, really pretty.
They like
great
that.
Gear.
Yeah. I like that pretty.
So, you get there, you get a taste, you get some, and you get to see what you need to work at, at that level.
Right.
Maybe she's brilliant in promos or something.
That's also possible.
That is true. They didn't give a lot of, they didn't give any promos.
Yeah, nobody talked
just
about.
Yeah, I've seen her wrestle twice. So. Piper Niven.
Let's go with that.
Well, if she looks familiar, she is very well known in a couple things she's done, your Shimmer's thing. She's also very much in the UK circuit, and the British circuit, and you might recognize her better by the name Viper. So
Piper, Viper.
Yes.
Smart.
So she is, actually moves real well. She does flips and things like that, things that you would not expect someone, quote unquote, of her size to do. Mm-hmm. And so as I watched a couple of her matches, I'm very impressed by her. So I'm look forward to seeing what she can do in this. I think she'll go pretty far too, if for no other reason. She's I think 5'8" or something like that. So again, another one of those kind of comparatively giant.
And the crowd pop her.
Real good because she's real great. Let's see what other notes I had because there's something else.
So interestingly enough, while you look up the notes,
yes.
I was really hoping to see Ruby Reyes, another local wrestler here, in this. And I was like, wow, it's really weird that they didn't put her in this. She tweeted about this, so this isn't sharing anything weird, but apparently she has some sort of medical condition where the WWE won't accept her because of it. And
do we know what medical condition it is?
I don't, but it's like when you try to join the military and they're like, oh, you wear contacts? You cannot become a pilot, or that sort of thing. You have asthma? Can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think the WWE doesn't let you in with asthma, which is why Joey Ryan has never been able to get. I've heard has never been able to get into the WWE.
Makes sense.
Kind
of.
Yeah, it is a shame. But so I'd like to. I'm rooting for Piper Piper is my new Ruby Reyes. Like, it's just like an incredibly athletic woman who reminds you like all this bullshit about bodies and shapes and stuff. Just like Kevin Owens.
Yep.
It is bullshit.
And she in her matches that I've seen, I don't know what they're gonna let her do because, you know, WWE is weird. But like she wears the unitard with little holes cut out and like, you know, fishnets and stuff, and I'm like, yes, get all that, all of that.
Girl.
And she's Scottish.
Oh.
That's
Everybody loves Scottish people.
So she's an angry Scottish. She headbutts people. She does like she's
I wonder if they were like, how do we turn Viper into a more Scottish sounding name? And she's
Piper.
like, Piper.
That is the one thing about WWE is they really like when there is an ethnicity involved, they really blow it up a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can't they just be a person?
Yes.
And I get why they do it because, you know, stereotypes, they're easy to grasp and hold on to. The problem is that stereotypes have evolved so much.
So much.
You know, it's like they keep trying to make us hate Jinder Mahal, and I can hate Jinder Mahal for 1,000 reasons, but certainly not because he's Indian.
Guy.
Do you know how much white people love Indian stuff? Like, a lot. They love curry, they love the music, they love the yoga, and you're telling all these white people they gotta, like, but the crowd isn't the same anymore as they were in the 80s. This crowd now is informed, and they're like, whoa, I'm not racist, homie.
Exactly. Like, well-muscled, well-spoken Indian dudes look in crisp linen. Like, why are you going to hate that?
The Singh brothers, they look like great upstanding men. In fact, the WWE had recently released a video where when they were the Bollywood boys, they went to a Singh temple and like and all the comments were people like, oh, thank you so much for showing this. I learned stuff and blah, blah. And it's like, you want us to hate them now.
Yeah.
Find another reason for us to hate them.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing, Piper, and other things I was looking at. So she was, you know, she was paired with the like champion there whose name I can't remember now. But like her interest thing is she looks like one of the Mortal Kombat ladies. Like, she had a little mask and like thing. So, you know, shout out to her, whose name I can't remember right now because my brain's fried. But so what was interesting and one of the things is it was like interference on Piper's behalf. But she got mad at her for interfering in the thing, and I was like, "Ooh, storyline." So you know, I've already seen her be able to do a good amount of like nonverbal acting, and they look very convincing. So and I say that to bring up, so if they don't end up putting her on a thing, that's a position they could easily like bring her over.
Okay.
Like especially if you like put her with Natalia or something. Not that Natalia needs a backup, but that'd be really great.
Alexa could ride on
on her shoulders. Exactly.
And
I almost forgot about Natalia again.
I love her though.
I do.
That does bring up a good point though. I think part of the problem with these sorts of tournaments is that they don't make room for storyline, and part of what we love about wrestling is storyline.
Yeah.
And so I think there's always a big problem there, and 205 Live has really struggled. And I don't think it's just because they can't bring in different people or because they're disconnected, but it's also because they don't have that much time to build story. And so you're getting 2 or 3 people's story every show once a week. Like,
I think well, this is diverting from the thing, but for 205 Live, because they have much fewer people to work with, that they should really just go face heel stable. Because then it's easier to build your sub-stories, your subplots out of that. So you have an overall, this is like Neville's the evil guy with the title. You could have sub-stories of, you know, Brian Kendrick is like, oh, I'm on your team, but secretly trying to get that title. You know, like you can build that stuff underneath there with a much cleaner structure there. If they'll ever do that, I don't know, but that's an option.
I mean, I think on the flip side, when it comes to storylines, sometimes it could be too storyline heavy. I mean, we get 3 hours of Raw, which is
we don't need it. Oh my God, do we not need it? And some of that storyline is used to have people standing in a ring looking at a TV monitor pretending to do interviews with each other. Shut up, you're wrestlers. How about you wrestle?
You can't give us one more women's match?
It just gets too heavy sometimes.
We got to make room for Bo and his rose-colored glasses to have a little shine. No room for more women. They put a Mickie James Emma match on main event, and it was so good, and I was angry. Okay, anyway. But we did digress. And then Zeta, she's new to wrestling, but actually when I first went to sign up for Santino's, the school where I train at, I said, you know, is it possible for somebody who looks like me to get into the WWE? Before y'all get all weird in the comments, this is a fair question. I'm not big like China. I'm not boobalicious like the other women like Sable. I'm not a hot blonde. can someone who looks like me get into the WWE? And the answer of the trainer was, we have a girl right now who's going for, who's applying, and we're training her. And she's Asian, and she's awesome, and she's short and thick like you, basically. They said it in a nicer way. But you don't worry about that. You need to worry about your skill, because right now it's about, you should be focused on that and not just give up on your dream before you ever start. So I had heard about this girl, and then we had a show, and I met her, and she was just coming back that week from the tryout where she found out that she got it. And she shared some advice and tips for us and stuff. Nothing like, you can't reveal what happens there, but just general helpful advice. And she was so awesome and sweet and nice. And so I was really excited to see her get picked and get to be in the Mae Young Classic. And I know she's not going to get anywhere, but I'm rooting for her anyway.
She did stand out to me, though. I liked her entrance and everything. She might get past the first round.
She's apparently an athletic beast, as far as what they would say about her with training her is she wouldn't give up.
I like that.
And then what she said when I heard the opposite was that she'd be like, I was dying, and I was like, I can't do another set. And then I was like, well, Joey just told you to do another set, so that's what you're doing. And so she has this ability to kind of push through, so I know she must be pretty strong. So anyway, probably another person they chose to get knocked out early, but still super exciting, because I could be like, I know her.
She got some FaceTime.
She did. So the rest of the women didn't really have that much information about them. I don't know if I was looking in the wrong places, but
Kaylee Ray had some matches with Piper. I saw one or two of them, so she's definitely on that circuit as well. The Nasty Generation, I think is what it's called. I
have heard of that.
Our intrepid announcer was very confused by. That's one of her, her affiliations.
It's weird that he brought it up and hadn't.
It's like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, why even mention it?
Say that?
Why? So she looked real good. She has good stage presence. I expect because of she's also on the circuit, so she's gonna make it a couple of rounds. I would say. I don't know if she's gonna be top or anything like that, but she'll definitely make it probably past a round or 2 rounds. But everyone else, not as much.
We got Aisha Raymond, Rhea Ripley, Miranda Salinas, Shiley?
Sure.
I know how to say the boy version of that name. Reina Gonzalez. They look like pretty and strong women.
Very pretty.
Yeah. They all look good. Yeah. Everybody looked good.
Yeah.
So now we're going to tell you our predictions. First up, Tamara.
Oh.
Tell me your predictions.
I believe that it'll be a hard-fought match with a lot of heart, and then Bianca might be in there and win. Shayna might be in there and win. Candice LeRae also, but Kaori. I just feel like, why have her here if she's not going to win? It's a waste of her time and ours. Let's put her in there already.
Ours is some real shit. Kaori.
I am going to go with Princessa Suhei.
Princesa Suhei.
The beautiful luchador.
Yes.
Toni Storm. Shayna. And then Kaori. I think Kaori's going to take it. I mean, it's just surrounded by all those women. She just seems like she has the most pop behind her, and the anticipation of people watching her in the WWE is massive, and she has a huge reputation. I think she's going to take it.
And I think she'll get eyes outside of people who normally watch WWE on this thing, too. Yeah.
That's true. A lot of people who are like, oh, I don't like the WWE, I watch the indies, they're going to tune in for this, because all of their indie women are here.
Yes.
So I think I guess it's semifinals. I think Abby Laith and Nicole Savoy are going to get there. And I think Shayna Baszler and Kaori will be like the finals. And then I think Kaori will win, because she, like you've said, she's just amazing. If you've seen her wrestle, it would be like Asuka losing all the time or something, where it's like, she's such a powerhouse that you're like, I don't believe this. This is unbelievable to me. And I really want to see her wrestle the other women of the WWE.
Yeah, that's something huge.
What I want to see. But they've been hyping up Shayna, and she has the MMA background. She's kind of like the cheaper Ronda Rousey that they could probably afford.
Right.
And we all know they want Ronda Rousey. And then
I don't know how I feel about that, but
but they want her.
I know
you
they want
so
her.
regardless of whether or not we think that's a good idea, it's what they want, and I think they could have that in Shayna.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nicole Savoy, I just love her. I think she's awesome. And then Abby Lath is Kimberly, and I think that why else would you bring her in?
That makes sense.
So the Mae Young Classic will have a live championship match September 12th at 10 p.m. The other, I guess a couple shows will happen in August. It's very confusing how it's rolling out.
Yeah, because it's taping now.
Yeah, it's already taped last week.
Yeah,
after
so it's already
finals.
done.
Yeah.
Okay, so up
But
to the
finals will be a live thing.
That's weird.
In September 12th.
I mean, I guess if in case anybody got hurt during that part, but they still had it's recovery time, maybe. I don't know. It just doesn't make.
I just wish they would give us more momentum leading up to that. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely seems like shooting yourself in the foot to be like, get hype about this thing.
A month from now.
Now we're not going to talk about
Yeah.
That's
You didn't come
really
in full
weird.
sale. Too bad for you.
So I wonder if they're going to do vignettes or
Or maybe they'll have
bracketology probably.
Will they have them on Raw or SmackDown during that, and that's why they needed to record it all then, so they can then make appearances? I don't.
But the problem is the spoilers are out there if you
Right.
choose to
If you
Google
look
them.
for it, you can find the answers to everything we talk about.
Yeah.
So
It's weird.
yeah,
It is interesting.
it is. Anyway, guys, leave comments if you have not looked up the spoilers already about who you think are going to win. Please try. I would ask that you not leave spoilers. If you have looked it up, I can't control you. You're YouTube, and YouTube is a dangerous beast. But just it would be polite. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Please tell the people everywhere they can follow and stalk you, but not really stalk
You can do all of that stuff except stalk me, but you kind of can thanks to the internet, which is kind of scary. At KAORIOUS, Kaori is everywhere.
Yes, and I will put a link as well in the description. Tamara, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Instagram and on the Twitters at Misfits Tamara.
And I fit in everywhere. I'm Sarah the Rebel. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Xbox, you name it. And you can find Women Wrestling Friends only on Twitter because I lost our Instagram password. And so far I've been failing at hacking. But Women Wrestling F. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. If you're listening on iTunes, please give us 5 stars. I don't care if you hear a fan in the background and you think we don't deserve 5 stars. You goddamn give it to us.
It's LA and it's hot, and you will let us have
so
our fan.
hot.
Listen, if we get big enough that we can start getting some sponsors, then we'll have enough money to get a sound mixer and not have this problem. So you give us those 5 stars, goddammit. Anyway, love you guys. But too far away to do anything to you. You win this time. Wait, I can put you in a wrist lock. Okay, bye guys.